Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, and Imam Abu Hanifa are all of the opinion that washing the mouth and the nose in wudu is not compulsory and that it is actually part of the sunnah act of wudu. The reason for this is because they argue that when you look at the verse of wudu, when Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, "O you who believe, when you stand up to pray, wash your faces, wash your hands to the elbow, wipe over your heads, and wash your feet to the ankle." Now, in this whole verse, there is nowhere Allah mentioned washing the mouth or washing the nose. So, for this reason, they say that the verse of wudu in the Quran, as it appears, is only telling us that those are the compulsory aspects of wudu, and the action of the Prophet. Despite the fact that Rasulullah, every time he would perform his wudu, he would always wash his mouth and put water in his nose and sniff it out. They say that you cannot necessarily, because of that action of Rasulullah, say that it is compulsory, because when you make it compulsory, then it will kind of like be a contradiction to the ayah. So they see that making it washing the mouth and the nose compulsory would be a contradiction to the ayah, because they believe that everything Allah mentioned in the ayah of wudu is telling us that those are the compulsory aspects of wudu, and that if washing the mouth and the nose were also compulsory, Allah would have mentioned it. So for this reason, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Malik, and Imam Abu Hanifa, they hold the opinion that washing the mouth and the nose are sunnah aspects. These are acts that Rasulullah does, and if you imitate him to do it in your wudu, it is nice, you'll be rewarded for it, but it is not compulsory. Why? Because Allah did not mention it in the Quran, and making it obligatory simply because Rasulullah was always doing it would necessitate contradicting the ayah in the Quran. Now, but there's a second opinion, and this opinion is held by Ibn Abu Layla and some companions of Abu Dawud. They argue that in fact, it is actually compulsory to wash your mouth and rinse your nose during wudu. And they don't see any contradiction between the actions of the Prophet ﷺ and the verse in the Quran. In fact, they believe that the actions of the Prophet ﷺ of always washing the mouth and the nose is only going further to explain what Allah has already commanded us to do in the Quran. So these scholars don't see any contradiction, and for that reason, they include that washing the mouth and the nose is actually compulsory aspect of wudu. Now, but there's a third opinion that says that it is actually washing the nose that is compulsory, and washing the mouth is not compulsory. Now, these scholars argue that you cannot necessarily make the actions of the Prophet as something that is compulsory, even if he was consistently doing it, right? So they hold that actions of Rasulullah does not necessitate compulsion. So, but statements of Rasulullah, so Rasulullah tells you to do something, that thing is compulsory unless proven otherwise. So this is the qaida, this is the principle or the maxim that they work with. And for that reason, they say that in the hadith, the only hadith we have that talks about madhmaḍah istinshāq, it only tells us that it is the istinshāq, which is the nose, that is compulsory. So in the hadith of Abu Hurairah, you will find Rasulullah will say, إِذَا تَوَضَّعَ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلْيَجْعَلْ فِي أَنْفِهِ مَاءً لِيُنْثِرْ. Whenever one of you is going to do wudu, he should put water in his nose and sniff it out. So he never said mentioned anything about putting water in the mouth. So in the hadith, Rasulullah commanded us to do istinshāq, washing the nose, but he didn't command us, with putting the water in the mouth and washing it. So this group of scholars, so for the Rasulullah to have commanded us to do this, that means washing the nose is what is compulsory. But we will always see that whenever Rasul is doing wudu, he will wash his mouth and nose. So that means that washing the nose is compulsory, but putting water and rinsing the mouth is not compulsory. That is sunnah. That is imitating the Messenger of Allah, but it is not compulsory. And this opinion is held by Abu Thawr, Abu Ubaidah, and some group of scholars from the Zahiriyya madhhab. So these are the three opinions that scholars hold regarding the issue of washing the nose and washing the mouth in wudu. Interestingly enough, when you look at the opinion of Imam Malik and Imam Shafi'i, you would see that, especially in my previous video, I told you that also in the madhhab of Malik and Shafi'i, they hold that washing the hands before wudu is not compulsory. So that means that in the madhhab of Imam Malik and Shafi'i, a person can come, right? He will not wash his hands, he will not wash his mouth and nose, and he will go straight to washing the face. and continue with the entire wudu, and his wudu will be intact. So you see how differences of opinion of scholars can affect how we perform our ibadah. And that is why it is important to know this thing, so that you might come across somebody performing his wudu in such a manner and you will think this is not how to perform wudu, not knowing that they are following the opinion of Imam Malik and Imam Shafi'i. May Allah Ta'ala increase us all in knowledge.